What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is day 7 of the 5th annual 10 Days of Pumpkin here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today, once again, comes from the Imprint Beer Company, and they're out of Hatfield, Pennsylvania. And this is their Schmoojee Puffsicle, the pumpkin cheesecake variant, and this is the 2022 release. Now, information is scarce, but I believe that this is a pastry sour that comes in at 6% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. And this can is just over 6 weeks old. Now, the reason why I say information is scarce is because it is. I tried to look up the the ingredients of this one, the ABV. The only place I found any kind of real information was a little bit on their Instagram page and also on Untappd. Untappd called this a pumpkin marshmallow cheesecake schmoojee. So I'd imagine they're using pumpkin, probably pumpkin cheesecake or pumpkin and cheesecake, and then marshmallows. I believe this is a heavily fruited sour ale, so it's a pastry sour. And outside of that, pumpkin pie spices probably. I don't know. It's the pumpkin cheesecake. So whatever goes in pumpkin cheesecake should probably be in here. And again, 6% it says on tap. I think they also mentioned that on the Instagram page. They also released their s'mores pumpkin roll, which sounded good, but I wanted to kind of go traditional like pumpkin beer. And here we are. So yeah, I don't know much about it other than it just went flying everywhere. I'm going to cheat. Okay, so the problems with beers like this for me personally, right? Some people say they're not beers. They're usually too sweet, right? These are like pastry sours, but a lot of times, like I can't get over the fact, we're not going to pour this all in. I mean, this is super thick. It's probably going to generate a crazy head. So we're going to pour in the rest at the end. But beers like this, they just, yeah, I want like 4 ounces of it. I'm done, right? So I'm hoping it's not overly sweet. I hope that there's a firm kind of tartness at the very least. And I hope that it's a pumpkin cheesecake in sour ale form. Anyway, it has that smoothie look to it, right? The head's going to keep on rising. I might have to sip it before it goes over. But yeah, that looks disgusting. Let's just be honest. That looks like, you know, if someone told me this was like a banana sour or something, sure. It has this like dark, like yellowish, orange, grayish kind of look to it. It has about I'd say just under 2 finger of this like straight up cake batter looking head. It has the pectin or the fruit puree, if you want to say, from all of the goodies in here, but it kind of looks like I expected it to, especially if they're using pumpkin cheesecake, the whole 9. It looks fucking, yeah, exactly how. Murky, turbid, can't see through it. There's little like, I would imagine they're using probably vanilla beans, or maybe it's just the spices in there, like the cinnamon and the allspice and everything. You can kind of, I don't know how it's going to, my camera isn't the best when it comes to like zooming in and whatnot, and it's being able to see it, but there's like little pieces of what looks like spices like floating around. Anyway, let's get a nose. Wow. I did not expect that. It literally smells like pumpkin. Like actual pumpkin, not pumpkin spice, because it's pumpkin. It has an earthy, gourdy kind of smell to it. Almost like roasted pumpkin seeds. But then after that is where you get the cream cheese from like the cheesecake and the sweetness and the pumpkin spices. But like right up front, as soon as I take it to my nose, yeah, it's pumpkin. But then it's like, okay, it's actually pumpkin pie. And then you're like, well, hang on. No, it's pumpkin cheesecake. Big marshmallow vibe to this one. So I think the marshmallow is substantial in what it brings here, because I'm actually getting marshmallows, and that rarely happens. When places say marshmallow on the can or on the bottle, usually I get vanilla, and if I get marshmallow, a lot of times it's vanilla or lactose or a combination. This time, if there's marshmallow in here, definitely. But it almost has a slight cake batter, like the head kind of looks like cake batter to me. Kind of has like a little cakey thing, but it is a cheesecake, right? So yeah, this actually smells pretty fucking good. I get the pumpkin. I get like a cheesecake thing, like some kind of confectionery cake vibe to it. I get the pumpkin spices. I get the marshmallow. I'm just hoping it's not too sweet. I did, cheat a little bit. And when I like that, it wasn't the sweetness. It's just like, okay, it kind of tastes like what it should. We will see if this is too sweet or not. I don't smell any tartness. I don't smell any sourness. That is a concern. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That's really good. I actually like that. I like that a lot. Huh. So as somebody who, I'm not going to sit here and be like, holy shit, I was going to say something way more dumb than I typically say. I was like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a pumpkin cheesecake expert. That's what I was going to say. A pumpkin cheesecake expert. I'm fat. I guess I'm an expert in food, like eating it, being fat. But when it comes to like pumpkin cheesecake, I've had a couple slices from a couple different cheesecakes this year, and I do get like a finish after having like a bite of a pumpkin cheesecake. That's kind of what I'm finished with. So they did a good job there. Body and mouthfeel. Body, this one's almost full bodied. I'd say medium full. It's thick. It's syrupy. It's smoothie-esque, right? That's kind of what this is bringing to the table, like a smoothie. So that's what you're looking for in a beer like this. Mouthfeel, soft, smooth, really creamy. There is carbonation, but it's not overdone. The taste, the most simplistic way to put this is I'm getting pumpkin cheesecake in what is beer form. It's omnipresent. It's a cheesecake, getting a little bit of like, almost like a, I wouldn't say necessarily graham cracker, but maybe to that realm, but just like a doughy, pastry-esque kind of flaky kind of like crust, right? But maybe not graham cracker. But you're getting the innards of a pumpkin cheesecake. You're getting that cream cheese. I'm getting pumpkin spices. To me, it's real heavy on like the nutmeg and I'd say allspice. I'm not getting a ton of cinnamon. I don't know what pumpkin spices are in here. If there, maybe there's not. Maybe it's just a cheesecake, but I'm definitely getting some pumpkin pie spices or pumpkin cheesecake spices. Again, it's all omnipresent. I'm getting marshmallow, vanilla, buttercream, cream cheese, heavy on that feeling. Maybe I'm getting a little bit of graham cracker now, more so than anything. Yeah, so pumpkin cheesecake, yes. My knock on this beer right now is that it's very subtly tart, like very subtly tart. A little kiss of tartness. This is a pastry beer. I wouldn't even call it pastry sour. Maybe a pastry tart at the best, or at best, I should say. It definitely ain't sweet. Is this cloying? I don't know. I've drank quite a bit. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I maybe want another 3 or 4 sips. I'm done. So again, with these, always take this in consideration when you come to see a review from the Beer PaTroll with one of these pastry sours nowadays. You may have noticed, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, that I've slowed down with these heavily fruited sours. Maybe do one every couple weeks now, because I've noticed that like I'll pay a premium for the can and then I only want half the can at the most. Like usually I want like 4 to 6 ounces. And that's kind of what's happening here. I'm probably going to drink half this can and give the other half to my dad, who will probably like this. He loves pumpkin pie, pumpkin cheesecake, and he'll probably enjoy this, especially since it's not that tart. He's not a huge fan of sour beers as much anymore. But I would prefer this to come in like an 8-ounce can, like those barrel-aged cans, or a 12-ounce can, because it's just too much for me. It's sweet. Is it cloying? I think halfway through this can, yes, it will be. Is it after a couple sips? Not really. But it's definitely sweet, and I need some kind of like mild bitterness, semi-dry finish, or like a big firm tartness at the very least to break this up. And I don't think it does it. Did I expect it to? Not really. I've had enough Schmoojees where I know they're kind of sweet. So I will say this. Schmoojee Puffsicle Pumpkin Cheesecake, the 2022 release, for what they did here, I think they kind of hit the nail on the head for what they're going for. If you grab one of these and you're hoping for a pumpkin cheesecake in pastry sour form, they did a great job outside of the sour base. Like, I think it needs to be a little bit sour, or at the very least, like I said, tart, and they didn't do that. But I think outside of it, they did a really good job. So I'm going to do, there's like a little bit of like, what's that, like a caramel drizzle on top. I'm not getting that as much. Do 2 ratings, which, I don't do a lot, but I feel like it deserves it here. So Schmoojee Puffsicle, the pumpkin cheesecake variant from Imprint. This is the 2022 release. As far as like a pumpkin cheesecake pastry sour goes, this is like a 4, high 4.5, 4.6. Not sour, it's not tart, so I have to knock it down, but it's still really good. Personal preference, I actually like it. I really do. So I'm going to give this a low 4.25. I'm going to go 4.15 out of 5. I think that's where this one lands. Should you pick this one up? If you really like pumpkin cheesecake and you know what you're getting into with these Schmoojees, where they're more sweet than sour or tart, right? 6%, I don't even taste it. Who knows if there's actually alcohol in here, right? But yeah, price point availability, I paid $8 for that can. That's kind of like the max I'm willing to pay for cans of these heavily fruited sours at this point. Like, that is the max I'm willing to pay at this point. If it's over 8, I'm not grabbing it. Preferably, I want to see these around 5 or 6, but, I understand the ingredients are expensive, the whole 9 and whatnot, especially when it comes to like the fruit puree. Availability, Imprint, I have no idea. I know we see them here in the Buffalo, New York area. So if you see Imprint Schmoojees anywhere near you, then you should seek this one out if you like pumpkin, pumpkin beers in general. This is a fun one, but I think you should share this one with at least one other person, if not multiple people, especially if you don't have a really big sweet tooth. Yeah, again, it's cloying to some degree, but I do enjoy the flavors of this one. Like flavors alone, this is like a 4 or 5 or higher. It's just, I need something to stop the sweetness. These Schmoojees are delicious in very small doses, and those small doses are like 3 to 4 ounces for me. That's like my preference. So, you know, it's just one of those things where I wish like this can was at the very most in 8-ounce can, and it's just, you know, that's just me, right? Everybody has a different opinion. If you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this one. I enjoyed trying it. I am curious about that s'mores pumpkin roll one. Maybe that would have been more in my wheelhouse, but it was s'mores. If it was just pumpkin roll, I would have tried it, but s'mores, I thought this one was a little bit more traditional. And yes, I said that, traditional, with everything that's going on in a beer looking like this. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yep. Anyway, thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review. That closes out day 7 of the 10 days of pumpkin. Tomorrow is day 8, and I'm going to be doing a dual review with a very good friend of mine, a fellow beer tuber, Tyler, over at Southtown Beer Reviews. We're doing Good Gourd from Cigar City. That is a bucket list pumpkin beer, and hopefully it's way more drinkable than this one. Till the next one. Cheers.